Carrie Underwood, a defamation campaign. Her dream was simple: to meet Clint Eastwood. What unfolded will stay with you long after you hear it. It started like any other charity event. A grand hall in Los Angeles buzzing softly with conversations, the low clinking of glasses, and the occasional hum of a microphone sparking to life. It was an evening to raise funds and awareness for children battling illnesses, but no one could have foreseen how it would leave every single attendee changed forever. Clint Eastwood, a Hollywood icon known for his unshakable presence on screen, had been invited as the guest of honor. He wasn't one for showy appearances or speeches. His reputation for quiet modesty preceded him, but he had made an exception for this cause. It wasn't for the cameras or the applause. He came for the kids. He sat quietly at a table near the stage, his piercing gaze scanning the room, taking in the faces of those who had come to show their support. Among them was a young girl, her delicate frame unmistakable in the crowd, a small figure wrapped in a pale blue dress. Her cheeks were hollow, but her eyes were impossibly bright. She wasn't here for the glamour or the food. Her focus was singular: Clint Eastwood. But this wasn't a simple case of meeting a celebrity. For her, Clint was more than an actor. His movies were a thread woven through some of her most cherished memories, a connection to a father she had lost too soon. Her mother had brought her here tonight, knowing it might be the only chance for her daughter to meet the man she so admired. Clint had no idea that this quiet evening would soon bring him face to face with a moment so profound it would leave a lasting mark on his life. The evening unfolded in the sprawling ballroom of the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. Chandeliers glimmered overhead, casting warm light across rows of neatly arranged tables draped in white linens. The organizers had gone to great lengths to make the event feel inviting. But despite the glamour, the true focus was on the children. Their photos lined the walls, accompanied by short stories about their battles, their bravery, and their dreams. Clint Eastwood sat at his table, a reserved but commanding presence, dressed in a simple black suit. He exuded the quiet strength that made him a legend both on and off the screen. The room was full of chatter and movement, yet his attention often drifted to the stage where families shared their stories. Occasionally, he would nod at the words of a speaker, his expression thoughtful, as though each tale weighed on him in its own way. At the far end of the room, 12-year-old Alana sat with her mother, clasping her hands tightly together. The table was adorned with a small bouquet, but Alana didn't seem to notice. Her eyes darted across the room, scanning faces until they landed on Clint. She inhaled sharply, a look of determination flickering across her face. "Mom," she whispered, leaning closer, "he's here." "I can't believe it," her mother replied, placing a hand over hers. "We'll make it happen, sweetheart. Just wait for the right moment." Alana had been waiting for weeks. Her mother had written to the event organizers, explaining her daughter's wish to meet Clint Eastwood, a wish rooted in years of movie nights with her father before he passed. The organizers had promised they'd do their best, but nothing was guaranteed. As the night wore on, Clint moved through the room, shaking hands, taking photos, and exchanging brief conversations. He was gracious but reserved, clearly uncomfortable with being the center of attention. Yet even as he moved, he couldn't help but notice the small girl at the edge of the room, her wide eyes following him as if he were the only person in the crowd. But the moment their paths finally crossed would be far more significant than either of them could have imagined. Alana's heart raced as Clint Eastwood's deliberate stride brought him closer. For a moment, she froze, her usual courage faltering under the weight of anticipation. He wasn't just a man anymore. He was the embodiment of countless memories with her father, the times they spent curled up on the couch, laughing at his dry wit and marveling at his bravery on screen. Those moments felt so close yet so far away. Clint stopped at a nearby table, speaking briefly with a couple. Alana gripped the edge of her chair, her mother giving her an encouraging nod. Then, as though sensing her gaze, Clint turned in her direction. Their eyes met, and she felt a jolt of recognition, as if all the years she'd watched him on screen had somehow made him a familiar friend. "Mr. Eastwood," her mother said, stepping forward cautiously, her voice warm but trembling slightly. "This is my daughter Alana. She's been hoping to meet you all evening."